October 2012, Hurricane Sandy hits the New York City metro area. And if you're from New York or New Jersey, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But what a lot of people don't realize is just how many data centers were right there along the waterfront and how many of them actually took on water. And for some of these large organizations that were operating there, how much of that equipment was just gone simply overnight. CBS had a data center right here in Brooklyn. And the reason why it matters is because where it was located. Because when you pull back and look at it on a map, you can see how close that building sits to the water. You start to understand why Sandy changed everything for them. It's a 1906 building in Sunset Park, Brooklyn, and the CBS Sports data center is sitting up there on the 9th floor, and the only way you would ever know is if you happen to look up on the roof and notice the generators that are sitting up there. So, Sandy hits and the first floor floods completely. The power goes out and the backup generator is supposed to kick on automatically now, but it doesn't because someone started it and left the exhaust flaps closed. The flaps are supposed to stay closed until the generator actually needs to be used, but they did not open those flaps up. So what happened is the generator overheated and it completely failed. At this point, the CBS team internally said, look, we are done. We need to get out of this building. We need an organization that can come in and completely handle the entire decommissioning of all of these servers and the complete environment, and we need it done fast. And that is when the call came in to OceanTech. My colleague Alex and I fly out to Brooklyn to do the site survey. And I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't know a whole lot going into this first walkthrough because all we knew is there was about 100 racks of servers that needed to be decommissioned, and that was pretty much it. So we get there, go up to the 9th floor, and we start seeing what we're actually dealing with. And as you can imagine, it's a building that's built in 1906, and there was absolutely no thought in the future that someday there was going to be a data center inside of it. Okay, let's start with the freight elevator. And I wish I could show you this elevator. When you see, you will understand. It's a wooden grate. The whole thing looks like it belongs in a completely different era. And that elevator is how every single rack, every server, every cable, every piece of equipment in that data center is going to have to come down from 9 floors and get out of that building. That's what we have to do. And then we went outside to take a look at the dock situation. It's low, it's non-standard height, and to even get a semi-position to load from it, you're talking about navigating a 45-degree angle with pillars on both sides, and anybody who has ever tried backing a large truck into a loading situation in New York City, where buildings are really not designed for this, you know exactly the problem that I'm describing. And then on top of all of that, there's something that people who haven't worked in cities like New York or Chicago don't always think about until it's right in front of them, which is that unions run everything in these buildings. The elevator, the dock, the building security. And if you don't have a union elevator attendant scheduled, you are not moving a single server. And it doesn't matter what your deadline is because it's their lunch break. You are standing there waiting. And that is just reality of working in these type of cities. And it's the kind of thing that has to be part of your planning even before you show up to do a job like this. 100 racks of servers, fully broom swept decommissioned, equipment, cabling. They even asked us to take a few pieces of furniture for them. Everything in that space. And CBS gave us about 2 weeks to get this all done. And we'll get into exactly how we executed that project in part 2 of this video.